Today we start with microorganisms. As the name indicates, microorganisms are the group of living organisms which are too small, which cannot be visible through naked eye. Can't visible through naked eye. So microorganisms are the living organisms or group of living organisms which are too small in size and cannot be visible through naked eye. So, what are the basic characteristics of microorganisms? First of all, they are too small, as I have told earlier, too small. Number two, found everywhere, which means air, water, soil, and in and on living organisms. They may be found in air, water, soil, as well as in and on living beings or living organisms. So they are found everywhere. Number three, they can survive extreme condition. Survive extreme condition, which means from hot spring to polar region. From hot spring to polar region. That means from extreme hot climate to extreme cold climate. They can survive throughout. Number four, they may be unicellular. Some microorganisms are unicellular or maybe multicellular, composed of a single cell or composed of more than one cell. And most interestingly, some are useful to us, but some are harmful too. Some are useful to us, some are harmful too. So these are the basic characteristics of microorganisms. Now, based on characteristic features, the microorganisms can be classified into some groups. Which are those groups? Bacteria, viruses, protozoa, fungi, and algae. So depending on their characteristic features, microorganisms can be classified into bacteria, viruses, protozoa, fungi, and algae. Today we will start with bacteria. Singular, they are known as bacterium. What are the basic characteristic features of bacteria? They are unicellular. Prokaryotic, microorganisms. Unicellular, that we can understand, composed of a single cell. Prokaryotic means the nucleus is very much primitive, or we can say nucleus is not well defined. So these are prokaryotic in nature. Next one, they also found everywhere. Like air, water, soil, etc. They can feed, move, can feed, move, respire or reproduce, respire, and also reproduce on their own. They can be, according to their shape, they can be spherical, rod-shaped, spiral, etc. There are various types of shape bacteria can be found. Some are useful, like there are some useful bacteria. For example, Rhizobium, Azotobacter. These bacteria are useful since they can enhance the nitrogen in soil. So they engage in nitrogen fixation in soil. And some are harmful too. Harmful bacteria like Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It's a quite difficult name. Mycobacterium tuberculosis. This Mycobacterium tuberculosis is responsible for the disease tuberculosis or TB in case of human. This bacteria can be treated, or rather the bacterial disease can be treated by antibiotic. This can be treated by antibiotics. It is a group of drug, we know. So unicellular prokaryotic microorganisms found everywhere can feed, move, respire, reproduce by their own. They may be spherical, rod-shaped or spiral in shape. There are some useful bacteria like Rhizobium which can involve in fixing nitrogen in the soil. Some are harmful bacteria like Mycobacterium tuberculosis, responsible for TB in human and can be treated by antibiotics. So these are bacteria. Now we come to viruses. What are the basic characteristics of viruses? In singular, they are known as virus. Smallest microorganisms. Smallest microorganisms can develop inside the host cell. Host cell may be plant or animal host cell. Number 2, considered to be between living and non-living, or rather borderline. They are considered borderline, dividing living and non-living, between living and non-living. Since they do not show most of the living characteristics. They do not show most of the living characteristics like respiration, excretion, feeding or nutrition, this growth, etc. They do not show such living characteristics. Do not. show these sort of living characteristics only show the reproduction or multiplication inside the host body. Inside the host body. So, they can reproduce or multiply only inside the host cell, which is considered to be the living characteristics. So, most of the characteristics are non-living, and the living characteristics can be identified with reproduction inside the host cell. So, that is the reason they are considered in between living and non-living. Mostly harmful in nature, mostly harmful, causing a variety of diseases like common cold, polio, influenza, etc. These are the basic major, what I can say, type of disease caused by viruses. One of the most important virus nowadays is considered to be HIV, which is human immunovirus, causing the disease AIDS. The full form of AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So, HIV virus causing the AIDS, which is life-threatening disease nowadays. And the important thing is, as compared with the bacteria, they cannot be treated by antibiotic group of drug. Viral disease can't be treated with antibiotic group of drug. So, if we sum up virus, they are smallest microorganisms which can develop inside the host cell, considered borderline or in between living and non-living, since they do not show most of the living characteristics like growth, respiration, excretion, feeding, only show reproduction or multiplication inside the host body. They are mostly harmful in nature, and like common cold, polio, influenza, the common viral diseases. HIV virus is the most important and harmful virus causing AIDS in human, of course, and the most important thing is can't be treated with antibiotics. So, the cure of viral disease, we can say, is more complicated or difficult than to cure the bacterial disease, since bacteria can be treated with antibiotics, but virus cannot. So, these are the basic characteristics and classification of microorganisms. Thank you. In our next class, we will discuss on the other groups of microorganisms. Till then, goodbye. For testing your understanding of this lesson and more videos, log on to www.tubelessons.net.